Welcome to Day 3 of the Production Engineering Challenge. Yesterday we set SLOs. Today we answer the follow-up question that determines whether those SLOs actually matter. What happens when you miss them? The answer is the error budget policy. It is the enforcement mechanism that turns your reliability targets from aspirational numbers on a dashboard into operational contracts with real consequences. Let us start with the math. If your SLO is 99.9% availability over a rolling 30-day window, the remaining 0.1% is your error budget. In absolute terms, 30 days times 24 hours times 60 minutes gives you 43,200 total minutes. 0.1% of that is 43.2 minutes. That is all the downtime your service is allowed for the entire month. Every incident, every degraded response, every health check failure consumes part of that budget. Now here is where it gets real. Jump to 99.95% and your budget drops to 21.6 minutes. At 99.99%, you have 4.3 minutes per month. That is the length of making a cup of coffee. Choose your targets very carefully, because the budget determines your entire operational posture. So what do you actually do with this number? You build escalation tiers. I typically use 4. Green tier, budget above 50%, normal operations, standard deployment cadence, weekly SLO review. Yellow tier, budget between 25 and 50%, you extend canary bake times, add an extra reviewer for risky changes, and check the budget daily in stand-up. Orange tier, below 25%, feature freeze. Only reliability improvements deploy. Daily dedicated reviews of what is burning the budget. Red tier, budget exhausted, full deployment freeze. All engineering effort goes to reliability. You need VP-level approval to resume feature work. These thresholds are not arbitrary. If you have burned 50% of your budget at the halfway point of your window, you are on pace to exactly exhaust it. That is your first warning. Below 25% with time remaining means something is actively wrong. Now, remaining budget tells you where you are, but burn rate tells you where you are headed. Think of it like startup runway. If your burn rate is 1.0x, you will exactly exhaust your budget at the end of the 30-day window. A burn rate of 2x means you run out in 15 days. 3x, 10 days. Google's SRE team recommends multi-window alerting based on burn rate. The first alert fires at 14.4x burn rate over a 1-hour window. This catches fast burns like a bad deployment that is failing 50% of requests. The second fires at 3x burn rate over a 6-hour window. This catches slow burns like a memory leak that gradually degrades performance over hours. Both use a shorter confirmation window to prevent false alarms from brief spikes. The long window finds the trend, the short window confirms it is still happening. Here are the failure modes I have seen kill error budget policies at real companies. Number 1, the override culture. Leadership signs the policy, then overrides the feature freeze the first time a revenue-critical launch is blocked. After 2 overrides, nobody takes the policy seriously. The fix is tracking overrides publicly. If you override more than once per quarter, your SLO is wrong. Lower the target to match your actual risk tolerance. Number 2, teams weaponizing the budget. Your service caused our budget to burn, so it is your fault. This destroys collaboration. Fix it with shared SLOs for critical user journeys. If checkout depends on 4 services, those 4 teams share one error budget. Number 3, the invisible budget. Someone updates a spreadsheet monthly and nobody checks it. The budget should be a real-time dashboard, as visible as your latency graphs. A Slack bot posting daily budget status works surprisingly well. The most mature implementation I have worked with encoded the error budget directly in the deployment pipeline. Before any deploy, the CI system queries the SLO platform for current budget status. If the budget is below the threshold or the burn rate is too high, the deploy is blocked automatically. No human has to remember to check. An override URL is provided that routes to a VP approval workflow. This is the end state you should aim for. The policy is not a document humans read and follow. It is code that runs in your pipeline. Human judgment is reserved for override decisions, not for remembering to check dashboards. To recap day 3, the error budget is calculated directly from your SLO. Track burn rate, not just remaining budget. Build escalation tiers with specific actions at each level. Get executive commitment to enforce freezes before your first incident, not during it. And when you are ready, automate the policy into your deployment pipeline so enforcement does not depend on human memory. Tomorrow in day 4, we cover monitoring fundamentals, the instrumentation layer that feeds real data into your error budget calculations. Because a budget based on guesses is worse than no budget at all. See you then.